Hello, it's Richard Fraser from Top Networking. I just wanted to talk to you about the networking myth that nobody ever talks about. And that is, most people think networking is about walking into a room of strangers and somehow, magically, selling yourself for 60 seconds. Um, Honestly, that sounds horrific. No one would want to do that. And the chances of you getting business when everyone's doing the same across the world in networking is slim to none chance at all. But what if networking was actually less to do with selling and far more about belonging? So today, networking has kind of moved into a little bubble created by some of the traditional networkings where people are taught that if you're not part of these networks, you're not really networking. Now, I know that Top Networking is a networking organization, but we're trying to teach the traditional networking skills that they've done since the Egyptian days and beyond. And networking is not about the loudest people in the room winning, because the truth is, it's more about the community you're in and the difference that you make within that community because it makes it more acceptable to be in there. So, what is the big networking myth? Well, one of the big networking myths is it's not about collecting contacts. It's more about making sure that everybody remembers you and you're memorable. So no one remembers the person that gave 47 business cards out before breakfast. Sounds like a great plan. Off to everyone. He literally got them out to everyone, but I guarantee he's lost in that room. People remember the person that listened. People remember the person that encouraged someone. People remember the person that introduced two people together that had not met each other before. The person that made the room feel better. The person that fixed the relationship. That's what's remembered in networking. So it's a community, and it's what you get back is what you put in. So oddly enough, there's science that backs this up. So human beings trust familiarity. Trust is key to forming community, and community is what protected us from the beasts and the weather and the problems in the past. So our brain is hardwired to reduce risk. So we buy from people we recognise. We look at things that we repeatedly see. We look for safety signals around us. That means that networking isn't really sales. Networking is about reputation building in slow motion. And the surprising truth of this, the best communities in networking rarely come together without formation. And the best opportunities in networking don't come directly. So when I say that, you meet an accountant who introduces you to a designer, who introduces you to a charity, who introduces you to a property developer, and eventually that property developer becomes your biggest client for the last 2 years. Now, you might not remember that was through networking, but it absolutely started with that key trigger who got you into the community. And networking is never linear. So think about your networking as a big network, a big net. And if you think about yourself as the one of the conduits or nodes within that net, so what you're able to do, a node is an energy passage in a network. So you can see in every direction that you're connected. What you want to be is a node, terrible word, but a very good word for this situation. You want to be the node as opposed to a funnel in a net. A funnel goes for everything around it immediately, sucks it all in, probably gets a bit of business initially, but the net moves away because you've broken the net, sucking everything into it. And if you think about that in human terms, you come in, you storm, you do a heavy sale in the 7 o'clock in the morning in a networking space. People don't like that, so they shuffle away. You find out very little about everyone because they get their guards up and they protect themselves. If you come in, form yourself as part of that community, look after each other, make yourself interested in everyone else, you become part of the net, you strengthen the net, and you form community around you. And that is why impatient people fail. That is why the people who have a need for now fail. Networking is not for now, it's building those advocates for the future, for when you need them. If you need them now, networking really isn't for you if you haven't already started it. Because what you're doing is building those relationships for when you need them. So it's a community effect story. So you can have one person storm into a room, try and give out 100 business cards, try and get business from everyone, then finds it really hard to get the one-to-ones after. No one really wants to do anything for them, and they go, well, networking doesn't work. And then you get someone else of the same category of business walking into the same room, being interested in Susan, finding out how to help Steve, looking at how he can get involved in the business, and suddenly everyone's having meetings with him because the person is safe, trusted. It's someone you can put in front of your contacts you spent 20 years building. And you trust them. They're not going to make a mistake. They're not going to hard sell someone who you've actually spent years gathering. Suddenly, you've got someone who's a trusted advocate, a trusted, reliable ally in your setup. So the practical takeaways really is stop trying to impress everyone. Focus on being a genuinely good contact for them. So instead of asking, what can I get from you? How can I get business from you? It's how can I help you? Try and be excited about other people's businesses. Try and promote them because it comes back. If you trust everyone's doing the same, make sure you're getting a good community vibe. Make sure you're building the community around you, and don't keep flitting from one community to another. Build it all as one singular community, one single net. Because if they're all connected together, it's much stronger. And the strongest thing you can do is walk one person from a place where they don't know another person, walk them both together, get them to know each other, find if there's an opportunity for both of them, and you step aside, because actually what you've actually done is created the strongest net for yourself, because they both have got value out of you by connecting with each other. You couldn't do a stronger connection than that connection, because you haven't lost them, you've gained their trust. So that's really it, really. I wanted to see what really happens in networking, and just a little overview in how networking can help. So that's it. That's me. That's Richard Fraser from Top Networking. I hope there's a little bit of a takeaway from that. Try and adapt your networking a little bit to suit that, because there's these little adjustments are percentage chances of success in the long term to actually make sure your networking is a success. See you in a meeting room. It's Richard Fraser from Top Networking.